Oh my goodness, guys, it's Thursday. I'm Ryan Lanier of Organizing for Good. I'm here in Austin, Texas, and it is my pleasure to bring you the nonprofit shout out interview today. And that needs to be turned down. Week after week, I reach out to nonprofits and I bring you the information about how they are functioning and how we can help and we can support and all the the general day to day. But this week I feel is a special week. Texas went through, you guys know what Texas went through I'm sorry, I got distracted. We went through a lot, and just because it's not newsworthy right now doesn't mean the suffering isn't going to be deep and long. So I am so excited. I have Suzanne Leggett here. She is with Catholic Charities of Central Texas, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ryan. It's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we did this a year ago when
Hard to
COVID
believe.
was new.
Correct.
Woo!
Yes.
And all those challenges. So welcome to Challenge, 2.0, right?
Exactly. And I want to point out, Ryan, you arranged this meeting with me over a month ago, 6 weeks ago, early January. And here we are. How timely and what a difference a week makes, right?
I was just saying that to Karen, my assistant, and I was like, this isn't the first time this has happened where the nonprofit I've interviewed, it's just been like, this is the exact week we need to be talking. So I love that. I love
too.
that. I love that because I mean, I know for a fact that you guys are you are doing the work. And so can you just start by explaining, I know Catholic Charities is well known, but maybe people just need a little primer on
a little refresher.
Yes, please.
Sure. Catholic Charities of Central Texas. We cover 25 counties in the Texas area, providing services. Our mission is people of faith, serving anyone in need by strengthening families and promoting respect for human dignity and life. And we currently have 6 programs, one of which is disaster, which we had, when we spoke last year, we talked about how COVID is a disaster and a disaster that we are all going through and continue to navigate. And the other 5 programs under our roof there at Catholic Charities of Central Texas, Immigration Legal Services, the St. Gabriel's Parenting Program, and Pregnancy Program, our counseling department. We also have St. Michael's Veteran Services, and lastly, our Financial Stability program. So all of that under one roof. And then specifically at this time, we are deployed out right now. Our disaster team is actively working. Cases that are coming through from last week's Texas winter storm. And we have fielded at this point over 400 calls, 430. I just checked before I got on with you, Ryan. And we're doing emergency support right now. And then we, in about a month, will transition into long-term support, where we'll partner with other agencies to support people on their home repairs. Because there's, as we know, there are people out there that don't have insurance or adequate insurance to cover the fallout from last week's storms.
Yes.
So what we're seeing in the immediate are individuals that kind of the thread that weaves through is hourly employees that lost a week of work. Compound that with COVID issues, and they need help with utilities. They need help with that car payment. They need help with prescription. They need help, rent. So we are there to help and support in this episodic situation. And then for those that are needing that long-term, we will be there, years from now, dealing
Right.
with some of the repairs.
It's going to
months
go
and
on way
years.
longer
So,
than the newsworthy.
mhm.
It was real
Yeah.
newsworthy, and
Mhm.
now it's probably even worse now. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the continuation of people's homes are just destroyed. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah,
So that's what we're working right now. And we're blessed to be able to support because of fundraising and grants that we have received. We're able to support individuals. So we have pushed this out through our social media, through our website. You can go to our website, CCCTX.org, and find information on contacting our disaster line and getting hopefully support that you need in this community. I would be remiss. I'm the advancement officer there at Catholic Charities, and we need this community's help now more than ever to support the need. So there's also an opportunity for those who are watching to donate to Catholic Charities in that disaster, and you can designate your funding to support this Texas winter storm relief.
yes.
And it will be used to support those families, to help them get back on their feet.
I saw it right on your homepage. Like it's right there. So, and
Yeah.
we've added a few buttons into my social media as well, because it needs to be easy for people. Like, let's
Yes,
put
it
the
does.
buttons everywhere. And oh, wonderful. I've got some people saying that they've donated. So yay, fantastic.
And Ryan, I cannot thank you enough for promoting that on your platform.
Of course.
Really, and it's important. And you were so great last year in pointing this out. And I feel like it's important for the listeners to understand that we are, as an organization, not Catholics just helping Catholics out in the community. We are Catholics, people of faith, helping all people.
Yes.
And we are there. We are first responders when disaster happens. We are out there on the ground. And I just want everyone to know that the funding that people are generously giving, and I do want to point out, we did get a lot of national coverage last week on our perils here in Austin. And we have been blessed with some beautiful support from outside of Austin, outside of Texas.
Yeah. Right.
It's beautiful.
Of course. Yes, of course. I think people were hurting in their hearts as much as we were hurting in our homes.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to continue. So that was just, I was just happy to do it. So,
well, thank you again.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So tell us give us some nuts and bolts. Like, what are you doing? Literally. I mean, you said 25 counties. I would love a little insight on, like, how do you mobilize that army? Are you partnering with other nonprofits near and far? I mean, people want to know, how are you doing it?
So, that is a challenge. That's a large area. And just to kind of give everybody a perspective, if you can think Waco, Mason, Hayes County, and then Bryan College Station, and all that in the middle, that kind of gives you an idea. And we're blessed with a network of over 122 actual parishes in this diocese. So that has been a beautiful resource for Catholic Charities in pushing information out. But in addition to that, we partner with many nonprofits in Austin proper, but in our surrounding counties, filling in void where there is no services.
Right.
And we are blessed. And I'm going to say something positive that has happened from this COVID experience is people are kind of geared to understand the remote services delivery.
Yes.
So what I mean
Yes.
by that is we are serving so many people outside of Austin proper. We also have an office in Bryan College Station, a brick and mortar, and we're looking to expand brick and mortar in Waco,
Mhm.
Killeen, and San Marcos.
Wow.
So, but until that happens, we actually serve people remotely via phone, but also our friends, virtually with our
Yes.
computers and working with clients, scanning materials, and oh
Always.
look, there's it just doop-de-doop walking through. I love it.
She doesn't like to be left out. She
No,
cares
no.
too. She cares. Look
I
at
just
this.
love the tail that just is waving in the
Yes.
background.
She's saying
Um,
hello to her public.
I
Yes.
love it.
So
But this
people are
the
right.
virtual platform has been our friend in helping us. And we were doing this before COVID, but we're just seeing more people becoming comfortable with that. And it's really helping us expand our services. We served with COVID, and I do want to emphasize COVID, we increased our service delivery by 180%, but we served over 16,000 individuals
Wow.
with COVID and handed and delivered 3.2 million out in the community. And that's
Wow.
what I was mentioning
It's incredible.
through utilities and rent and that kind of support. But also we're about materials. And so, with your YMSL group, y'all have helped us package diapers for moms and hygiene kits and baby supplies. We do a lot of that. And so we disseminated over 250,000 material items through COVID because, it might not sound like a lot to give someone a package of diapers, but that's a package of diapers, that money that they could put elsewhere.
Right.
And 1 out of 3 individuals have challenges with diapering their babies because of the expense. So as a mom, that I can understand, you don't want to choose between diaper and food. And so we are out there on the streets doing diaper and I call material distributions. And we have some planned actually next week in Killeen and San Marcos with our St. Gabriel's Pregnancy and Parenting Program, getting materials out into families' hands and supporting them because they need it. So fallout from COVID is still happening, Ryan, and then compound that with the weather disaster. So you're right, people are just feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a great transition to the offering that you have with counseling and mental services.
Thank you for bringing that up. Mental health, people kind of put that on, and I'm generalizing, but just from experience and from talking with our counseling department, people can put that on a shelf. And when you're in crisis, you're on auto drive, autopilot, dealing with just the essentials. Mm-hmm. And what we see and what we forecast for the year and for the years to come is continual fallout from this COVID disaster. Mm-hmm. And we're talking anxiety, depression, addiction. Mm-hmm. COVID has not been the friend to these ailments and these conditions that many people are struggling with. So I do want to point out that Catholic Charities counseling, we don't want to turn anyone away, and we have a sliding scale. And so I know it tends to be a lot for people to think, oh my gosh, I can't afford my mental health support. I need to do this, but I want you to know that our counseling department will work. We work with insurance and with Medicaid. We can help individuals devise a plan, and we have a sliding scale. I know a lot of people are struggling with working at home, homeschooling their kids, or their kids are home more often than not with their schoolwork, and they need that support. So Catholic Charities is there. We're a faith-based organization, but I also want to share with you, we have counselors that bring in faith, but also if it's something that you just need the mental health support, we are there for those individuals as well. And I just think people need to recognize that there is support systems out there for them. They're not
Absolutely.
alone.
Absolutely. I think we're all kind of running around on half tanks of energy
Mhm.
right now. And
Mhm.
you know, everyone, and I think it just needs to be said. I haven't had a conversation with anyone in the past week where it's just not the first thing. We all just are like, how did it go? We all just need to like let it tumble out, because you need that. You need to share and feel like we
Absolutely.
all went through this, right? And it was awful, right? Right. It was awful. Okay. It wasn't just me.
I want to commend our case managers who deal with these calls day in and day out.
Wonderful.
They are equipped with, I believe, gifts to be able to your point, people do need to, they do let it out. They're able to navigate and listen. I think listening is key. And then letting people know that they are being listened to and that Catholic Charities is there to help them
Mhm. Yep.
and do what we can. And I want to share this with you, Ryan. If there's certain areas that we're not able to support at the level that individuals need, we partner with other agencies and we
Love
will
it.
do referrals, and we actually accept referrals. So Catholic Charities has a wonderful relationship in the Central Texas area for results, for can do, yes, and as our executive director, Sarah Ramirez, it's yes, and.
Yes.
And I think that's a beautiful
Mhm.
philosophy
Yes.
that permeates through all of our staff.
Mhm. Mhm. I always say it and it never gets old. We're better together. We are
Amen.
better together. So,
Amen.
so this isn't my typical questions where it's, who are you? How have you pivoted for COVID and how can we help you right now? But let's focus on the how can we help you right now get through the layering of craziness that you have going. So definitely we're donating. Is there any other ways that we can be helpful right now?
You asked.
I absolutely asked. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Catholic Charities is actually experiencing, we are in Lent. As a Catholic faith, we have a Lenten period where we are giving the community an opportunity to support. We have a wish list, an Amazon wish list that you can access on our website. And we have a Lenten diaper drive. Specifically, we need size 4 and size 6 diapers.
I love
We
that. There's
um,
so many sizes. Thank you for saying the sizes, because
size
that
4 and size
helps.
6.
Okay.
And if the community could go through their favorite box store or Amazon, have it shipped directly to our location there on Rutherford Lane, 1625 Rutherford Lane. Let me get the zip for you, 78754.
Karen will put
And
it in the chat. Don't worry. Should
beautiful.
be.
You're
Yeah.
awesome. Because many people like to actually give materials, and I respect that. So go through our Amazon wish list as well as the Lenten diaper drive. You can access that information on our website, always in need for that. And Claire Borderlawn is our volunteer extraordinaire coordinator. And I recommend, if you want to give some of your time and talent, we're not actually, because of COVID, bringing individuals to our campus. We are, however, making things available to people where we can deliver, because we wrap diapers and we have a certain process when we deliver out to the community materials. We need to get those in certain format and certain ways that are easy to hand out to our community. There are ways that individuals, families, groups can help us, and we can bring the materials to you. You can let us know when it's finished and we can come pick it up. So there is volunteer opportunities there. The other area of volunteerism is we actually believe through our financial stability in giving people a hand up, but also most importantly, educating them on finances, on budgeting. So we offer financial education classes, and there are opportunities for the community and those that have that expertise to support our case managers in some of those Zoom classes, and it's all virtual now. But Ryan, I do believe there is a light, and I'm praying in the next 6 months or so where we will be able to come back in person. And so I just encourage people that during this time where we've had time to reflect and focus on our families, and I do want people to hear this, Catholic Charities recognizes that many of us went through crisis last week. And we believe first and foremost that you gotta take care of your home and yourself. But once you do that, please look outside of that. And as you said so well, Ryan, we're better together. And if you have it in your heart as a community, and Austin does, by the way, I mean, Austin in this Central Texas community, we need to help those in need. So we recognize you need to take care of your families and the pipes and the insurance and the whatever has happened in your own home, and be grateful. And then there are those people that they lost a week of wages, they're behind, they just can't get themselves back up. Please partner with us at Catholic Charities and help us be part of the solution in getting Austin back where we need to be, and better for it, right?
Right. I love the education piece. I think of Dress for Success.
Yeah.
The education piece is so critical because that is, teaching someone to fish as opposed to just giving them a fish. So
absolutely.
And then ripple effect. I think we all teach each other, then someone else teaches each other. And that's just the way it has to be. That is the way.
Yeah.
And I feel like
for
getting through the Snowmageddon also was neighbor to neighbor, was speaking to, checking on your neighbors and are you out of firewood? And, that getting that close to people is really not just sitting around waiting for, the fire truck to come. It's like, I feel like the closer we can become as a community, neighbor to neighbor, makes us so much stronger, and the services can go much farther that way.
I agree. I'm with you. And our neighbor is not just the person next door. Our neighbor is the family that lives across town and is really struggling. So our neighbor, it's a broad, there's a broad definition there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Capital N neighbor, the capital N. So
yes.
what
Amen.
have I not asked you yet? What else can we let people that are watching that just really want, I don't know, what do you guys want? Do you want hope? Do you want, I don't know, what do you feel like people would love to hear right now after they've, turned their attention in their busy day to listen to what we're having to say today?
I think hope is a huge part of Catholic Charities. We actually, our fundraising events are called Creating Hope. And I think many of us, through faith, through hope, through positivity, really are leaning into that right now, because we've existed on kind of this heightened adrenaline survival through COVID, through loss of loved ones because of COVID, neighbors, now the weather event, and then financial crisis that is coming from this past year and then last week. I think a message of hope is gosh, what you said so is when we come in and when we're together, we're just much more powerful and we are more effective, and we can do more. So we have a Creating Hope event in Bryan College Station, which is our other office, in April. And, many nonprofits are challenged with, many of us did the in-person events, and we've had to table that. And
yes,
but I just have over and over, but I guess I am definitely the glass half full. I don't think I could do what I do every day if I wasn't, but I'm just consistently energized and have optimism because of stories that I hear from our case managers, from donors that say, listen, we see you're getting money into the hands of those that need it. We want to do this year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. The generosity, and people wanting to be part of the solution. I'm just seeing people getting out of themselves. And it gives me hope. And I just want everyone to know that Catholic Charities is about that with our clients. Yes, we listen to stories, but we also give people the opportunity to really share their story with us, and we do listen. And I just think many people, that's just what they need right now. People that care. So Ryan, thank you for your platform. You do a beautiful job in recognizing the breadth of support in Austin, the generosity. Amplify Austin is next week. I just want everyone to know that our giving platform is going directly towards this Texas winter storm effort. Our goal is 25,000. And awesome. I just pray that we are successful, and most importantly, that our community is successful on the tail end of this crisis that we just had last week, and we'll continue to work through with our COVID response.
You just gave me so many goosebumps. When I was thinking about Amplify Austin and just how that is such a coming together and a awareness on a big scale, because what I really think is people need simple ways to help, right? They don't want to look around and okay, I want to donate. Well, what do I do? Like, tell me what to do. That's what I want people to know. And Amplify Austin absolutely provides that. It's like, here's a giant network. Donate away. I love it. I love it so much. And it shows the power of community, doesn't it? And the very fact that it is a very powerful and oh gosh, what's the word? Needed fundraising time. I mean, like, you guys base a lot of your fundraising around these events. Austin Farm Sanctuary as well. They're well broke. They're well broke. It's just knowing that there are ways to get the word out is huge. So anyway, gosh, and we use it for sure. No question. And we're all about also, I want to encourage people to visit our website. We have actual client videos that I think are very moving. And no doubt. I think it's important for people that you can visit the different programs and see the service delivery of all of our wonderful programs and what they're doing in our community. Love that. Ryan, do I have time to share a quick story? Of course. We've still got a nice watchership. There's still lots of sharing of resources and stuff. Yes, please. I would love it. Beautiful. Yes. This is something that happened 2 weeks ago that was our advancement team. It really hit us in the heart. And I want to show the community the power of those that we support. It was unusual. We had 2 previous
one was a husband and wife, and one was an individual that came into Catholic Charities, which, you know, we are primarily remote, but actually came to our door, called for someone from our advancement department to come over, and that they had a gift that they wanted to extend to Catholic Charities. Well, one of the individuals had been helped back in 2013, several years ago, and we had helped her with rental support. And it's just those people that hit that bump in the road and just need a little help. She had said that she had never forgotten it, and she handed over a significant gift and said, I want this to be used for someone that's was in my shoes.
That's paying it
years ago.
forward. That right there. Well, I dare you to watch that movie without crying. Pay it forward. I love that. That's
And
amazing.
so that, to me, that was a significant, and that had stayed with her since 2013 to pay it
Yes.
forward.
Oh,
And
yes.
then this couple donated cash,
Cash is
and
king.
you could tell they had been collecting it for some time,
Oh,
and they wanted to help someone, as St. Catholic Charities had done a couple years ago. So those are those type of stories that happen. And as an advancement team, sometimes we feel we're hitting our head. And when you hear that, it's so inspiring for us.
yes.
And
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
people making sacrifice.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Real sacrifice. And acknowledging that Catholic Charities was a help to them, and they want to do that for someone else. So,
so great.
that gave me a shot in the arm, and our advancement team. So
sure. I'm
just
sure there's
wanted to
just
share that.
a lot of days where, you know, I bet it just feels like, is this just, you know, the probably less affirming days than others. And to get a day like, or a couple of days like that, where, you know, you need that. And I love that story, those stories. Thank you for sharing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it just hit me because client stories are something that we ask our case managers to share with us, because they live it every day. And for us on the team to out there raising funds to support, and people are hit from all angles. I acknowledge that. Yes. But I personally feel the stories that we can tell of clients is the currency that we can give back to our donors.
Yes. So good. So good.
Yeah.
I feel like we've given the people what they came for. So this has been,
I hope so,
amazing.
Thank you.
Just wow. So
well,
thank you for your time. Oh yeah. Thank you for everybody that's watched, and Karen, especially for putting all in the links. And I believe there was a couple other people sharing the links. So, you know, let's make this beneficial to more people and grow that. So that will be amazing, because the need's not going anywhere. So, all right. Well, I'm going to wind this up on Facebook Live.